listeners, and welcome to Where There's a Will, There's a Way, a podcast for global problem solvers, where we discuss ideas for global transformation. Last week, we discussed air pollution and how forest fires contribute to 50% of global air pollution, dwarfing the amount of emissions from cars. I want to thank our callers, especially Sally from California, for providing that fact. Today, we have a topic that's near and dear to my heart. Did you know that 85% of the world is living on less than $30 per day, while 66% live on less than $10 per day? Extreme poverty, where a person lives on less than $1.90 per day. It's an issue that affects over 9% of the world today. So what inspired me to do these things is one time on the radio, I heard a bunch of people were helping Israelis by donating food baskets. And also, shout out to YouTuber Mr. Beast for inspiring me to make this podcast by doing all sorts of fundraisers and helping out the needy and performing all sorts of acts of kindness. Okay, so I'm going to be joined today by a returning fan favorite guest, my dad, Greg Wilbur. We are going to discuss why the issue of global poverty is important to us and brainstorm some ways to solve the crisis. Before we're joined by my dad, of course, I want to talk about today one of the sponsors of this program. Dave's Killer Bread is a food I eat every day. It's packed with 9 grams of protein in each slice that keeps me full for hours. You slap some peanut butter and jelly on it, and it is truly the most delicious thing I've ever eaten. Not only that, but Dave's Killer Bread is a responsible company that's associated with a foundation that helps former criminals get jobs. I'd like to welcome back to the show my dad, Greg Wilbur. Hi, Dad. Thanks for coming back on.
Hi, William. I'm honored to be welcome back.
Great. I'm glad you're back. So I wanted to start off the show by talking about why global poverty is a big issue for you and for me. For me, I know we're in a rich country and haven't experienced or even seen true poverty that's experienced around the world. Even our homeless brothers and sisters have it better here than any other people in third world countries.
Well, that's right. Poverty and world hunger are closely related. People in these third world countries are starving. I read in the World Economic Forum that 25% of children worldwide are stunted due to malnutrition. This is a condition where children grow up small with decreased brain function because they're not eating enough nutritious food. These people don't have a chance at being productive and keeping a job.
That's just so sad. I also read that adults who are stunted as children earn 22% less than adults who were not stunted, and that entire countries like Ethiopia had annual economic output less than 16% due to stunting. It seems to me that malnutrition and poverty go hand in hand.
I think that's right. While there are other factors contributing to global poverty, like corrupt governments taking all the resources for themselves and internal conflicts and wars, I think you and I agree that the best way to combat poverty is to combat hunger. Now, I know that there are food pantries and soup kitchens for homeless people in Denver. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea, but we need to think more globally. This is a global problem we are trying to solve, and the solution needs to be global as well. We definitely need to get other countries involved. First world countries, like the U.S., need to support third world countries. We just need an organization that can help facilitate this group of countries.
How about the United Nations?
Great idea! The UN is made up of countries from all over the world. The General Assembly meets in September in New York. We could ask our representatives to make a motion there.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea. That way, any country who's willing to help out will work together to feed the hungry.
Okay, hold that thought. Let's see what one of our callers have to say.
Hi, is this Where There's a Will, There's a Way podcast?
Yes, it is. And what is your name?
My name is Crystal.
Hi, Crystal. Welcome to the show.
It's great to be here. I'm a big-time fan of the podcast. I have learned a lot of interesting world-crumbling facts.
That's great to hear that. So the reason you're here today is because we want to know your opinion on global poverty.
I know a lot about poverty. First of all, some poverty is started by global systems which over thousands of years have designed to benefit the richest and most powerful.
That is an interesting fact. Anything else?
I also think that a good economy can't be started without health. These third world countries don't have the health they need because of the poor conditions which they are living in.
Those are great facts. I hate to cut you off, but we are running out of time to talk about possible solutions, so hopefully we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so Dad, what do you think about possible solutions would be?
Well, I think the idea with the UN is a great idea.
I think that's a great idea too, but we need to know how long it will take because I think it might at least take a couple of months to plan the idea.
And a couple years to execute the plan.
Yeah, that sounds about right, but we need to make sure that enough countries are willing to make that commitment. We need to find the cost of everything. We definitely need to encourage countries to start fundraisers and charities. We have to make sure that everybody's following through with their commitments. And lastly, we need a way to get the food over there, whether it's through plane, U-Haul, blimp maybe.
Well, that's an ambitious plan. Do you really think it's possible?
I do, Dad. Let's contact our representatives, and I encourage our listeners to contact their local representatives and let them know how global poverty is an impact issue for you. So that's all the time we have for today, but I thank you for listening to this important episode. Please remember to rate our podcast and give us 5 stars as it helps to put us on more people's feeds. As always, believe in the goodness of people that through education and getting the message out, we can change the world. Please join me next week as we talk about the global pandemic response.